Ever spend like an hour, maybe more, clicking through online stores, just browsing, and then you end up with nothing?
Oh, yeah.
Or even worse, you buy something, you're sure it's perfect, and then regret sets in.
Yep. The worst.
Today we're diving into all that whole world of online shopping, specifically Stork Inc. And their big promise to, get this, revolutionize it.
That's revolutionize, huh? Bold claim.
Right, they're calling it Stork Bots IA, AI-powered shopping assistants. We're going deep into their promo material, see if they hold up, if the hype is real.
Always good to be skeptical.
So do these bots actually make online shopping less of a headache? Maybe even. Dare I say,
Enjoyable.
ambitious goal for sure. What I find interesting is it's not just about suggesting stuff. They want these bots with you every step of the way, like a shopping buddy. Okay, so instead of me typing blue sweater, no turtleneck a dozen times in the search bar, SortBot.ca just like swoops in with my perfect sweater. I don't even have to explain myself.
That's the idea, yeah. Hyper-personalization. That's their big buzzword. In their own words, and I'm quoting here, StorkBot.ca goes beyond simple purchase history to create a dynamic profile reflecting your evolving needs.
Evolving needs. Sounds kind of deep for a shopping trip.
Right. It's not just what you're buying, it's why, when, all of it, to predict what you'll want next.
Okay, that's both cool and a little creepy. Like, does my shopping bot need to know I'm buying a gift for my mother-in-law to suggest the perfect, I don't know, vase?
Well, that's where the whole informed decision-making thing comes in, I guess.
Oh, right. Because what if the bot picks out a vase my mother-in-law hates? Talk about pressure.
They emphasize those bots giving detailed descriptions, no jargon, and objective comparisons. Imagine. The bot finds the vase, tells you all about it in plain English, and then compares it to other vases, pros and cons.
Okay, now that I can get behind. No more trying to decipher those product descriptions that sound like they were written in some made-up language.
Exactly.
But how does it even work?
Uh,
Is there like a tiny AI expert living in my computer judging my taste?
Not quite. It's all about algorithms, really sophisticated ones that can crunch a ton of data. Your past purchases, browsing history, even what you're looking at right now, all goes into it.
So it's like a supercharged search engine that learns my quirks as I shop more.
You could say that.
Sounds expensive.
And that's where their business model gets interesting. You're not buying the bot outright. It's a monthly subscription.
Wait, so like Netflix, but for shopping?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, tell me more, because I need to know about this.
Yeah, so they call it shopping on demand. And they really push that flexibility angle, like you can upgrade, downgrade, even hit pause on the subscription, whatever you need.
Okay, that makes sense. Like maybe you're on the holidays, I want my superpowered AI shopper, but come January, my wallet needs a break from all those deals.
Exactly.
But let's be real, this subscription thing, it is convenient, but are they kind of, I don't know, holding our shopping habits hostage a little? What's to stop Stork Inc. from just jacking up the price once they've got us hooked on our personalized bots?
That's the million-dollar question, right? It's a bigger issue with these subscription services, this whole vendor lock-in thing. We get used to a service, it's a pain to switch, even if there's a better deal somewhere else.
Especially if that service already knows the exact pair of shoes I'm eyeing. It's like they're playing chess with my credit card.
That's true.
But speaking of being tempted, let's get back to that dynamic customer profile thing. How much data are we talking about here? Are they tracking, like, every click, every time I hesitate, those late-night impulse buys?
Honestly, the document's a bit vague on the details, which is a little worrying. They mention advanced data analysis techniques to personalize everything, but without knowing exactly what data and how they're using it. Hard to say what the implications really are.
So while I'm off on my AI-curated shopping spree, Stork Inc. could be building like a whole dossier on me, my deepest desires, my anxieties, my embarrassing spending habits.
It's a trade-off. Convenience, personalization, it often comes at the cost of data privacy. Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. Okay, so besides those potential data issues, what else should we be wary of? Is there a downside to having like all this shopping power at our fingertips?
Well, one concern is becoming too reliant on the AI. What if we lean on these StorkBot's IA so much that we lose our own decision-making skills?
Oh, like that scene in Wall-E, where those humans are just floating around in chairs, totally checked out from reality.
Exactly. And in this case, reality includes budgeting, comparing prices, even just knowing what we want without an algorithm telling us.
Yeah, like the difference between browsing a bookstore, getting lost in the stacks versus just ordering whatever Amazon recommends. Sometimes there's joy in those unexpected finds.
Yeah. 100%. That serendipity, that's something that could get lost with all this hyper-personalization.
Mhm.
Every online store starts to feel the same, tailored just to us, no room for surprises.
Sounds a bit sterile, if you ask me.
Hmm.
Like shopping in a museum where you can't touch anything.
Yeah, I get that.
So we've got the data privacy concerns, the risk of relying on AI too much, and this possibility of like a homogenized shopping experience. What else? Anything else for the cons list?
Well, there's also the question of what happens if something goes wrong, you know? Like, what if the bot just completely misinterprets what you want and suggests something totally off? Or even worse, there's a glitch and suddenly you can't even access your shopping assistant.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's like when you're relying on your phone for directions and it dies.
Exactly. And Stork Inc. talks about their bots being available 24/7, but they don't really address what happens if the whole system crashes.
And let's be honest, even the smartest AI can't replace humans completely. Sometimes you just need an actual person, especially if it's something complicated, or if you just need a shoulder to cry on after a bad online shopping experience.
Totally agree. There's a level of empathy, of understanding that AI just hasn't quite mastered.
Like the difference between getting a generic apology from a chatbot versus a real customer service rep actually hearing your problem and trying to fix it. So as we get deeper into this StorkBots IA thing, it's clear there's a lot to think about. It's promising, yeah, but definitely not without its downsides. So we've got this convenience, the personalization, but then there's the data privacy, relying too much on AI, maybe losing that human element.
It's like any new tool, right? We can't just focus on the shiny newness and forget to ask, how do we use this thing responsibly? Stork Inc. is painting a picture of the future, but it's up to us, the shoppers, to decide if that's a future we actually want.
That's the big question, isn't it? We're so drawn to things being easier, faster, that we don't always stop and think, what am I giving up for this? Am I giving up my privacy, my own choices, just for a smoother online shopping experience?
It's a slippery slope, for sure. And it's not just about shopping either. This is happening everywhere online. Algorithms on social media, personalized news feeds, it's constant. These technologies trying to predict our every move cater to every whim.
It's like we're living in one of those choose-your-own-adventure books, but the choices are already made for us. And we don't even know what's influencing them, those hidden data points. So wrapping up our deep dive here, I gotta say, I'm feeling a little conflicted about all this.
I think that's natural. It's not about saying technology is bad or we should reject progress. It's about looking at these advancements critically, asking the tough questions. We need transparency from the companies shaping our digital world.
Because at the end of the day, it's bigger than just finding the perfect pair of shoes online. It's about finding that balance. Convenience versus control, personalization versus privacy. Can we have the helpfulness of AI without giving up our own judgment?
Well said. And honestly, I think that's the biggest takeaway from our deep dive today. This digital world's getting more and more complex, right? So we have to stay informed, stay engaged. We have a voice in shaping the future we want.
To everyone listening, we hope this deep dive gave you some new ways to think about these AI shopping assistants, these Stork bots. Maybe even inspired you to take a closer look at the algorithms running in the background of your own online life. Until next time, happy shopping. And remember, stay curious.